And now I'd like to welcome to the program Dovilė Šakalienė, Lithuanian MP, here to discuss this potential revision to the maritime borders. Hello, and thank you for joining us here on TVP World.
Hello, my pleasure. And well, we, of course, as you already mentioned, treat this as one of the propaganda operations of Russia, certain provocation and possible escalation in the informational sense. Because in this situation, we do not even have any official request from Russian Federation, neither us, neither our Nordic allies. So we can treat this only as, sort of unclear situation. When we consider a possible threat, then of course we always need to be careful with Russia because we are known to be very successful at creating geopolitical dilemmas and geopolitical challenges. Even though in this situation it's not even a bilateral decision, this is international decision based on the treaties, for example, United Nations Maritime Law. However, Russia has been known to ignore both bilateral and international agreements. But as I understand, a couple of hours ago, this information was removed from the internet in this Russian website where it was found. And also there was a commentary that Russia does not plan to attempt a change at its territorial waters, economical zone, state border, or related issues with our sea borders.
Yes, and we see some headlines out there saying that Russia is doing this unilaterally, so it seems more like a provocation than anything. But tell me, this should be treated seriously, so I would imagine that the countries of the Baltic Sea, their navies, should definitely probably sail their ships into the waters that could potentially be contested and have a continuous presence there so that Russia doesn't have or can't make such claims. Do you agree?
Well, we do have routine intelligence work, which is constant 24/7, nationally and internationally among all of our allies. And of course, we have talked, as I said, to our Nordic neighbors. What is a bit absurd, I think, is that in this so-called document or notification regarding consultations about the project of attempt to change maritime baselines. There's a talk about Lithuania and Finland, as if Estonia and Sweden have fallen off the map, which doesn't really make sense if you look at the map. So I don't think that we need to take any physical action in this situation, because what we are already doing for years, and especially in the last couple of years, is enhanced level of monitoring the situation around our borders using every possible intelligence channel. So in this context, I wouldn't say that Russia is currently ready at the moment to take additional action against NATO alliance, besides its now currently waged war against Ukraine.
But regardless of that, will these countries still come together and discuss, working together to perhaps observe what has come out of this news today? I mean, I think also in light of the European parliamentary elections, this is probably yet another way of Russian aggression to distract EU countries and also, the region. So perhaps additional action should probably be taken to watch out for what may emerge out of Russia as well.
Well, we have been preparing for different provocations, and our Department of State Security, our main civil intelligence agency, has already warned about possible provocations and disruptive actions against certain selected targets, both informationally and kinetically. And Russia has been very active in interfering in elections processes, not only in Lithuania, in European Union, but also beyond the ocean. So therefore, of course, we are ready and we are monitoring what is happening. And the dynamics of incidents, both informational incidents, cyber incidents, and kinetic incidents, is of course positive, in the negative sense. I mean, we are vigilant and we are taking certain additional measures. I mean, from what we have been doing with our neighbors, Poland, Latvia, Estonia, regarding our borders, with Belarus, which is now serving as a platform for Russian operations, to now this situation where we are also consulting our Baltic and Nordic colleagues, and we will have more consultations in the future. We have a second round of presidential elections this Sunday, and we have European Parliament elections, as you said, but we also have national elections of the Parliament in, well, less than 5 months. So therefore, in these situations, we understand that this is going to be a very heated time.
One of the arguments being studied in this document that we're discussing is that Russia's defense ministry has justified the alterations by arguing that an earlier Soviet measurement of the border from 1985 used to the mid-20th century nautical charts did not fully correspond to the modern cartographical coordinates. Now, it's a kind of a double-loaded question, but do you think that by seeing such statements as these, that potentially this could be used as a domestic informational operation within Russia itself, just to stir up more controversy and perhaps get more hardliners on their side to make these provocations against NATO countries?
Well, regretfully, Russian society has been and still is sufficiently supportive to the Kremlin regime in all its imperial or revisionist endeavors. I mean, we are not talking only about Ukraine or these threats against Poland or Lithuania or other Baltic states or Finland. Let's not forget that only in the last 3 decades, Russia waged 7 wars and has not suffered any serious consequences for either of them. And this society is really happy with expansionist politics because this government of Russia has never been really interested in welfare of their people. They have not known democracy for centuries. Few years that we had, just few years, to try the taste of democracy was not successful. So therefore, I don't think we need to be naive and believe that Russian society needs persuasion. They are happy to support their emperor and Tsar in whatever wars he is willing to wage. We're only talking now about material possibilities and also about the level of our deterrence, so that the next stage of expansion would not go into the direction of NATO alliance.
Certainly. Well, Lithuanian MP Dovilė Šakalienė, thank you very much for joining us and discussing this matter today.
Thank you.